so many mistakes. These are my in-house starts, which these are the saddest potatoes. These are the saddest peppers. This is the saddest tomato plant. Saddest starts, because just sad starts. Basil and just being attacked by aphids. It's fine. Second round tomatoes, more tomatoes. Ginger, artichokes. I just started things too early, so they're all just still in the house because we keep getting weird cold weather. Beans, more beans, borage, and marigolds flowering in the house, which is kind of awesome. Pretty sure my 1 seed challenge died, which is fine. It's just, it got stuck in its shell and never made it out, which is fine. That feels correct. More brassicas that are being attacked by aphids, which I pick them off every day. But I'm going to start hardening these off, and hopefully when I harden them off, the aphids will go away. Probably not. It's fine. But the hilarity, the biggest hilarity, is this ginger that's just in a pot growing in the shade, and this ridiculous physalis that is just taking over the world and is in this tiny little like 3-liter pot. And there's like way too many plants in here. Like, I put too many seeds, but it wants to live, so I'm just letting it live. Oxalis, basil, holy basil, tomatoes that are trying to flower in the house. We'll see. Sweet potatoes. These were also sweet potatoes, but I think they've all died off, which is fine. It's fine. We'll see what happens. I doubt there are any sweet potatoes in there, but it actually might be time to check and harvest. This one I'm going to let go longer because I am. This just is not happy in the house, which is fine. It's fine. I need to water things in here because mistakes. But it is a very cold and dreary day, and I need to do an actual garden tour at some point, but that requires me to go outside. Well, I'm a crazy person who's going fishing in the snow because I just got dressed to go fishing and it just started snowing. But first I'm going to do a garden tour. Mistakes. The garden. We have purple sprouting broccoli, and we have the beginning of broad beans, and we have a whole bunch of stuff that's sprouting and starting to come up. Mostly brassicas. I know, that's shocking. How dare there be brassicas in this garden? And these are broccoli sprouts that I'm going to give to the chickens. So just all brassicas all the time. Hey guys, you ready for snack time in the snow? Hopefully we will not have the great escape. There you go, buddies. Fresh greens that make them happy. They look a little bit like worms, so I think that also makes them happy. New experiments. I did not realize how narrow this little kind of protective polytunnel is. But because it's so narrow, I'm like, I'm just going to run it through the middle of the bed and see if what grows in the middle does better or worse than what grows in the shade of it, in front of it, and without cover. I popped some Brussels sprouts in there. So there's some Brussels sprouts in there, and then some Brussels sprouts on the outside. This whole section has nothing in it right now. It's just dormant. Those chives and these smoltron, which is wild strawberry, are perennial. And then there's some onions planted and some cauliflower and some more onions. And then all of this section is spinach. So we will see. But yeah, just experiments. Hey, happy chickens. Oh. Okay. My blueberries coming out of dormancy. I have peas starting to pop up finally. But everything else in this died, so I need to replant that entire bed. Yeah, very similar. I have spinach coming up. I'm pretty sure I planted some beets and shallot in here as well, but the only thing that's come up so far is the spinach. I have salad greens coming in here, the celeriac that is not very happy, the beginning of rutabaga, aka shallot, aka Swedes. Kale from last year, more spinach, the celeriac, peas that are finally coming up, the ground elder that needs to go back from whence it came because they are demons. I'm probably gonna harvest all of this because people actually eat it and they like it. So I don't know, I might try to do something with it or just weed it out to make it go away. And then again, I have spinach coming up, and my dog got in here and dug around and made it weird. So I have this giant clump of spinach. Thanks, dog. Yeah, but there is a bunch of spinach just coming up, so we should have spinach soon. These are all of my dead tomatoes and basil, and this is a porridge that is mostly dead, but there's still one leaf, so maybe it will come back. Who knows? And I put in a red onion in the center of all of them, so there is a little red onion that will hopefully grow on as everything else died. Yeah, that is a crocus that is coming up from a bulb underneath this bed. And then more red onions. I planted red onions in the front and yellow onions in the back, and so like they switch in the middle of the planter in the middle yard, so there's kind of like the red versus yellow sides. Yeah, my wild violets. I seeded some Chinese cabbage in there, so we should have Napa cabbage in this box soon. Yeah, the beets have all died. The new beets are coming up. The perennials are coming back. So yeah, it's doing okay. Everything keeps dying, but that's fine. Yeah, I planted a bunch of salad in here, and so I'm just trying to be patient so that I don't double seed this. I planted Asian greens on this half, and then there's just this one cabbage that wasn't dead yet and more ground elder. So I pulled this up because this is another accidental ground elder bed. That was a Brussels sprout, and then there's onions planted around here as well. Yeah. Greenhouse. Ugh. I'm trying to not open the door too much. Yeah, chives, a couple of beets that germinated. There should be more beets in here, but I'm pretty sure I seeded a bunch of beets in here. I just kept popping beets everywhere. This tomato plant, still alive. Those tomato plants, most of them, still alive. Some of them look not so happy. Broccolis. Transplants that I need to fix. More broccolis. So many aphids everywhere. Beets. Beets. Sunchokes maybe with chives. Peppers and a tomato that's still okay. Pepper. And more broccoli. And my little peppers, who I need to uncover if we get any sun today. Oh. So yeah. Still flowering. Still trying to make something happen, which is cool. What else is missing? Oh, I put, I think, some kale seeds in there. These are so dead. I've come to terms with the fact that trying to grow citrus outside, and even in the greenhouse, it's not a thing. I need to learn how to grow citrus better. And the citrus in the house also not working. It's too hot. So I need to figure something else out. It's not today, but that is on my list. Tomatoes that are still kind of okay. Peppers that are totally okay. Potatoes! Chives, 1,000 head kale, more chives, my asparagus coming out of dormancy, making the world's tiniest asparagus. I use this pot as an indicator so that like 2 weeks before asparagus starts popping in the yard, it pops in here. So I just use this one as a clock. It's a thing. My grapes are coming out of dormancy, which is awesome. And I think we have new grapes that the kids kept eating them and dropping the seeds. So I think these are new grape plants from the seeds, which is kind of cool. And then all the chives in the world, because all the chives in the world, it'll be fine. This is a deadbeat I rescued from the road that died in the cold, cold, cold. That's a brassica seed, so I'm going to cover him back up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I planted scarlet kale in there, but we'll see. And then this is one of my kales from last year. That's really pretty, and now it's setting a flower head, and I really like this one, and it's really pretty and very tasty. So I'm going to try to save the seeds from that. And that is the garden. Yeah, it's snowing and raining, and I'm gonna go fishing because I'm a very silly person who caught 7 plaice yesterday and got to keep 4 of them. 3 of them were undersized, and then some other dudes on the boat were like, hey, we caught like 30 fish, but we're not going to take them home. Do you want them? And I said, sure, because I go fishing to eat the fish, not just because it's fun, but it is very fun. And so from their 30, like 10 of them were not big enough to keep. And so I put them back in the sea because they were still alive and they were okay to do that. The ones that were not vibrant, I dispatched them, and I kept them, even if they were a little bit smaller than I would have liked. But so I now have 27, I think 27. I'll have to count when I actually finish processing them. The 27 fish that came home yesterday. We ate 2 of them for dinner last night. They're small, but they're really tasty and beautiful. And I think the ones we had last night were actually scrub, not plaice, because they had a different texture on their skin. But they're flatfish. They're a whitefish, flatfish from the sea in Skåne, southern Sweden, which is awesome. And bananas. And we now have enough fish for 6 months. But I'm gonna go fishing for trout because I have trout problems. Rainbow trout, which they call salmon here, and they treat it as a salmonoid. And honestly, a lot of the times you accidentally buy trout thinking that it's salmon, but it's just steelhead trout that went out into the sea, that they just sell as salmon because you can get more money for salmon than you can for trout. But when they're really big, I make salmon steaks out of them and broil them, and they're delicious. So yeah, I'm just trying to get us all prepped and stocked because I know that when the garden is in full swing this summer, I'm not going to have time to go fishing. And so I'm trying to fish as much as possible while I still have the space to do that, because I'm not spending all of my free time harvesting this and processing this and preserving this for fall and winter. Yeah, we're trying to not buy any vegetables and fruits from the store, with the exception of bananas and pineapples, for the kids. And because I can't grow pineapple, like the things I can't grow here logistically, either like through hydroponics or in the house, like in other methods, we're gonna try to only eat things that we grow. That's the goal. But yeah, it's made me a little manic, I think, about the planting. And so I've just been over planting more than I normally overplant, because our goal is to be 100% sustainable. And since we harvested 4 chickens, we had 1 for dinner. We still have 3 chickens in the freezer that we raised. And now that we have all this fish, we actually might be able to achieve that goal by eating our eggs and our chickens and the fish that I catch and all of the stuff from the garden, and then like foraging for stuff. So like we'll go foraging for mushrooms and other things. Like I have a bunch of ram's luck. All right, this is now getting visually boring while I talk about a bunch of nonsense. But yeah, thanks for watching. Have a lovely day. And maybe I'll tag the final processed frozen, like fish vacuum sealed, ready to put in the freezer away for the next 6 months after this, if I get enough energy to do that today. And if I catch salmon, you will definitely see that. So this is future Lauren, like wishing future Lauren good luck. I don't have faith, but I'm gonna go do this because I'm a weirdo who wants to go fishing in the snow because it's snowing. So I can't garden and I can't move my transplants that I desperately need to start hardening off out of the house right now, because going from the house to snow, that's just asking to kill everything. All right, thanks for watching.